Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Haley. I'm a cashless budgeter and caregiver who's working on her relationship with finances as well as working towards financial freedom. If that's something you're interested in watching, please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below, and let's catch up in this video. Hey guys, so I've been MIA for I believe a month now, at least by the time you're seeing this video. And April was definitely a tough time in general. So I'm probably not going to edit much of this video. It's just going to be me talking through most of what happened in April, how it kind of altered and changed my, I guess, cash stuffing usuals, and how I see myself fixing my finances going forward. So main change has to do with me medically. As you guys know, I do have a variety of different medical conditions, chronic illnesses, and in some cases, rare genetic disorders that have culminated into various different issues over the years. In this case, right now, it has to do with my vision and my eyes. One of my eyes, I was born with a condition that causes abnormal blood vessels to form, so my eye doesn't get as much oxygenated blood as it should. I've had laser surgeries and such before, but now it has progressed into neovascular glaucoma. So I don't have any vision in the eye to begin with, so that part is not something that they're really concerned about fixing or doing anything about. But the glaucoma part is really, really painful, and so I've basically opted to get laser surgery again to try to seal as many vessels and slow down the growth of vessels as much as possible. And hopefully that helps the pressure in my eye to go down so I'm not sitting with constant like cluster headaches and migraines constantly. And I can't see out of it, obviously, but at least it can be there comfortably and not cause me pain. I am really on the fence about it. Not because I'm not doing it, because obviously it's happening. By the time you've seen this video, actually, I'll be in surgery. But it's very nerve-wracking in a sense that this is kind of like my last straw with this, because if I'm praying that it does work, but if it doesn't help me the way that it's supposed to, then the only step after that, if it's still causing me pain, is to have my eye removed, which is also scary in and of itself because I have a very active immune system, and so it's a possibility that if that were the route that would have to go, it could trigger my immune system to start attacking my actual good eye, and then that will cause a series of problems in and of itself. So, any positive thoughts, prayers are always appreciated. I appreciate you guys supporting me in my post as well. But any positivity is greatly appreciated at this time, and I'll try to update you guys as much as possible. Again, with that and that recovery, it may be harder for me to actually sit in lighted rooms to film videos, so I do and am going to get back into uploading videos. It just may not be 2 videos a week like I was doing. More than likely, I'll probably go down to 1. Or if there's content I can put into a short format, I'll probably do that. Don't know. Still playing around with that. I don't have an answer. Again, I don't know how what recovery is going to look like for me, so I'm just going to play that by ear, all puns intended, and see where it goes. Again, all puns intended. So, with all that medically going on, I made some decisions, cash stuffing wise. the big thing, or one of the big things, is that I decided to kind of disband my emergency fund. Now, I did not spend from my emergency fund. However, I did decide that I really want my emergency fund to be more so for income replacement, and miscellaneous emergencies, aka a rainy day fund. So I kept those funds that I had saved for those particular situations in there. But any other sub savings, I moved to other areas. So, for example, I had the start of my pet emergency fund. I just moved it to my dog's envelope, in his pet care. I had and my dog is staring at me from across the room, which means he usually wants something. Hold on one second, guys. And my dog is fine. So, I kind of forgot where I was. But I'll just continue where I left off. So, thought process wise, I disbanded my emergency fund. I moved my pet emergency fund that I started into my dog's pet care envelope. I moved my home emergency fund into my adulting binder where my home maintenance savings is. And then I moved my health medical deductible that I started and got to at $500. I moved that into what is now going to be my medical savings. And it's still in this binder, but I've separated it out. So you guys have seen my care credit envelope before. That stuffing is not going to change. However, I did add some subsection envelopes. So now there's basically a specialist treatment envelope. This is for co-pays for any treatments, medications, injections, doctor's appointments themselves. Any co-pays I would have with specialists, basically. And I moved my medical deductible into what is the Sleepy Sloth Savings Challenge, which if you guys remember, this was in my big ticket binder that I also had to basically spend and restart, which, not going to talk about that, but we got to $286, which was very helpful, and I really do appreciate that. So, I hope there's not a glare too hard on this. But this sloth challenge is from Lisa Grateful Me, or the Happy Mailbox Co. on Etsy. And I'm going to use this challenge to expand on my medical deductible to save the entirety of my out-of-pocket maximum, which I believe is around $2,500, or I rounded it up to $2,500 and some change. So this red line marks to where I'm trying to get done. I am slowly building this up. I don't necessarily need it right now, but I do want to have it just in case. There's a specialist, wow, I can't speak. There is a specialist treatment that I need to get done, or if I end up having to go the route of getting my eye removed and getting a prosthetic. I'm not sure what my insurance would or would not cover. So I am going to save this top half here for out-of-pocket maximum. The rest of the, I guess, $1,700-ish, I will still save, but that'll be for things like if I have to take off work for recovery or something, or go to another specialist appointment, or get any medical equipment for my eyes or my skin or whatever is going on at the moment. So that's what this challenge is going towards now. And it's in the medical section of my Sicking Funds binder. So that one's that. And then this lovely non-dated planner I actually won from the Budgeting Sisters in one of their giveaways. I am using this more so as a health tracker. So what I've done thus far, which I need to update it for sure, is I've set goals every month that I want to achieve. I track them every day on here, and if I, at the end of the week, I see how many days I successfully did that. If I reach my goal for the week, then I scratch off and save the numbers that they have here on the side. If I did not reach my goal for that week, then I will take whatever the scratch off is and multiply it by 2. Right, this is to try to basically keep me active in the health changes I am trying to make, as that is one of my goals for 2025. It also helps keep me accountable. And I like having charts and calendars and graphs and whatnot. So that's the other thing. And that challenge, or what I turned into a challenge, I'm calling it my Healthy Habit Tracker Challenge. And this sticker I got from, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Wow. I got from Alexis at Dying Outlaw Games and Budgets, and I absolutely adore her. And I really do want to do this. I'm just going to put an out of order sign on my forehead and call it a day, because honestly, I feel as though that's how my life and health is going right now. So yeah, you'll see those 2 challenges in my cash stuffings. I'm going to try to put money in them from both checks. I'm not really particular about that, but if I can get it from both checks, that'd be great. If it's just from my first one that I used to stuff my sinking funds or revolving funds, then so be it. I am okay with that. With my budget, I did keep up with April. I did not make a video, obviously, about it, but I did fulfill, move this out the way real quick. I did fill out my budget for April. I did not include my medical expenses in this because there were a lot of them, quite honestly, and I was shifting so many funds around in savings to the point where it wouldn't have fit in the space, to be completely transparent. So not much changed number-wise or income-wise. And I did add, and you guys will see this in my May budget breakdown, but I did add a line for medical savings, and I'll probably redo these numbers for May. They'll be a little bit different. I did add my health and medical challenges to build up my out-of-pocket maximum first, and then extra savings after that. I will decide by the time I do my May breakdown whether or not I want to change any of my variable or automatic savings. That'll be in the works. And I didn't have any impulse interventions because basically all of April was medical copays. For the bulk of it was medical copays. As far as my student loans are concerned, my repayment date has shifted again. Going with the flow on that one because nobody knows what's going on at that point. So what I've decided to do was in May, I can share my part-time income. It'll more than likely be in a short format than in an actual video, but all of May, any of my part-time income outside of tithes I take out is going to go towards student loan payments. And the reason I'm doing that is because my part-time job requires me to go to different sites, which I'm okay with that. Most of the sites I was going to they're all in driving distance. But the main hub that I go to was only maybe 20-25 minutes away from me, plus traffic. So I was okay with driving to and from there. And it was easier for me to pick up shifts and cover other people's shifts and basically build up hours every pay period. However, now I am being transferred to a different site, or the team that I'm on is being transferred to a different site, as they're trying to condense hubs, basically. And I'm okay with that. Generally speaking, the work that I do wouldn't change, but this new hub site is about 30 to 35 minutes away from me. That's not including traffic. And depending on the time they want me to be there with traffic, it could easily take me an hour to get to this new site. So I am going to give it a valiant effort and try it out. The change isn't permanent until the end of May, so I won't be on this new site until the beginning of June. But knowing how much traffic will affect that time, my time will be affected, how many hours I'll be able to work, inability to pick up shifts as easily as I once was with this job, I am going to have to be honest with myself and really weigh the pros and cons of continuing to do the part-time job. And if the cost of having the job basically overrides the benefit of having the job, then I would have to think about either going to them and asking them if there could be some time adjustments. And they already know that I care for my mom. They already know that I have a main full-time job. So that part's not lost to them in any sense of the word. And they appreciate me being there. And they said they're trying to be as accommodating as possible. So we're going to see how that works out. And if it doesn't work out and, I end up having to put in 2 weeks or whatever, I still appreciate the experience anyway. And I appreciate how much it's helped me thus far. So, yeah, that's also something I have to think about. Again, I'm going to give it a valiant effort in June to see how it works, because they're trying to work out kinks just as much as I am. So I don't fault them for that. So we're going to see how that looks. And if it can be worked out and they decide to keep me, then great. If not, or if it doesn't work out or benefit me, nor does it benefit them, and we end up having to separate, part ways, whatever, then it is what it is and life happens. So whether or not I would look for more part-time employment after that would be a different conversation I also have to think about, because I still have to consider the amount of flexibility. And will I be able to handle all that I'm supposed to and do that work at the same time? So there's a lot of stuff going through my mind up in the air right now, but I believe that was basically the sum of April for me. Excuse me. I also had an unexpected passing of someone that was really close to me at the end of April. So it's just been a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it has been a lot, but I know that May is gonna be better. Gonna go up from here, and I'm determined to remain positive, even though life is happening and life is going to happen. Negativity doesn't get you anywhere. So I am just going to be here working, doing the best I can, and seeing how it goes from here. I thank you guys for watching this update. I hope you guys have a blessed day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world, and hope to catch you guys next time for my full-time breakdown for my first check of May. Alright guys, have a great day.